Good afternoon and welcome to BizTech's Asian Midday Market Watch. It's the 28th of September, and we've got as our guest today David Kuo, founder of the Smart Investor out of Singapore. David, it's always great to have you on the show.
And as always, Salamat Tengah Hari, Brian.
Now, David, before we get your insights, we're going to take a look and see how markets across the region have performed. We're going to start, however, with cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is at 26,431. It's up 0.71%. Ethereum is at 1,609. It's up 1.07%. Now, looking across to regional stock markets, Malaysia, where I'm at, is closed for a public holiday. So Bursa Malaysia is shut. We start with Singapore. The Straits Times Index is up 0.22%. Shanghai is down 0.07%. Shanghai is up 0.07%. The ASX All Ordinaries is down 0.18%. The Nikkei is down 1.67%. The Hang Seng is down 1.11%. And rounding up the numbers, we've got the Kospi, which is up 0.09%. David, it's pretty mixed market today. Tell us why.
Well, I would say it was leaning towards the downside rather than the mixed side, Brian. I think it's all about interest rates, and it's all about the slowing economy around the world. And people are very concerned as to whether or not the Federal Reserve will carry on increasing interest rates. I think, previously there was this mentality of FOMO, fear of missing out. And I think that has been replaced by FOLM, which is fear of losing money. And people just don't want to lose money. And when they see the stock market continually slide over in the US, and they hear about talks of a slowing economy over in the US and also in China and higher interest rates in America, people are very concerned. And they're just saying, hey, why do I need to buy equities? I might as well just sort of sit on cash and earn those US coupons, which is at a 18-year high at the moment. And there's even talk about interest rates going even higher than that. I mean, a Federal Reserve rate setter said that I don't think interest rates at these levels are going to be anywhere enough to try and control inflation. So I think there is a lot of confusion, a lot of fear in the market right now, Brian.
David, I think that confusion was, there was quite a bit of fuel added to the fire when Jamie Dimon said that basically the world is not ready for 7% interest rates. And that's really spooked a lot of people. Tell us about that, because that really sets the stage for very much higher Fed funds rate than we are anticipating.
Well, I don't think 7% is the Federal Reserve's base case, but I think what Jamie Dimon is really saying is that interest rates are going to be higher. As to how high they will go, nobody really knows. And if you have a look at inflation around the world right now, Brian, I mean, oil prices are climbing up towards $100 a barrel. I mean, that is going to feed into the inflation equation, no matter how you look at it. And over here in Singapore, just recently, bus fares have gone up. And then we just heard yesterday that water prices are going to go up. I mean, all of this is stuff that people use on a daily basis. And these are things that will feed into the inflation equation, whether you like it or not. So whether you go to a hawker center and go and have a bowl of mee pok, I mean, that water that they use for boiling the noodles and for serving you a soup, I mean, that is going to go up in price. So, I mean, all of these things, when added together in an aggregate fashion, fuel prices going up, transport going up, water prices going up. I mean, it's not just here in Singapore, it's happening everywhere in the world. And when that happens,
David, I've got to interrupt you because this then brings that whole specter of stagflation into the equation, because we've got rising interest rates, we've got slowing growth, and growth that is slowing at an accelerated rate as well.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you interrupted me, because I mean, this is kind of my pet topic at the moment, stagflation. I mean, nobody wants to talk about stagflation. The reason why nobody wants to talk about stagflation, Brian, is because there is no cure for stagflation. I mean, we know how to cure inflation, raise interest rates, and then you can actually tamp down on inflation. We know how to cure recession because you cut interest rates and then you stimulate the economy and things will be okay. But what happens when you get stagflation is that you get a stagnant economy and inflation at the same time. So if you try and cure one thing, you're going to actually make the other side worse. So if you say, oh, we got a slowing economy, let's go and cut interest rates, you do that, and then suddenly inflation will start to rise. So you go, oh, no, I can't do that. So let's go and increase interest rates to try and sort of tamp down on inflation. And then you suddenly get the economy slowing down even further. So I think most central banks at the moment are happy to do nothing, right? They're doing absolutely nothing because they think, well, let's just see how things pan out. And let's just hope for the best, really, and just hope things will sort themselves out. And that is the only cure, by the way, for stagflation. But at the same time, central banks do have a mandate. They do need to control inflation. And if they see inflation starting to rise again, they have no option, Brian, but to actually increase interest rates, just as we saw a couple of days ago with the the Central Bank of Thailand increasing interest rates and at the same time moderating its growth for the rest of this year. And I think that is the kind of scenario, that is the kind of picture that we're going to be painting, not just for 2023, I think for 2024 and beyond. I think it's going to take a long time to resolve, Brian.
So, David, then, besides putting your money in T-bills and not just US treasuries, but T-bills around the world, government, is then the flight to safety and gold the answer for risk-averse investors?
I mean, I had to smile because, I mean, Costco, which is a members-only supermarket, and I am a member of Costco in the UK. The only way you can get into Costco is if you show a membership card, and it costs you money to buy the membership card. Just recently, by the way, in the UK, Costco membership has shot through the roof simply because they sell petrol at a wholesale price. So their petrol cost is cheaper than anywhere in the UK. But the only way you can actually sort of fill your car up with petrol is if you join as a Costco member. But anyway, that's beside the point. Costco recently has started selling 1 ounce gold bars. And every time they put it up for sale online, they get sold out immediately. And I think Costco just taps into what retailers, what households want. And if they know that households are fearful at the moment, they will go out and source gold bars and sell it almost at wholesale price. I think it's around about sort of $1,900, for an ounce of gold bar. And I think it goes to show that people are very afraid at the moment. They have no trust in a lot of things. They don't trust the US dollar. They don't trust the stock market. Maybe they don't even trust US Treasuries. So they go, well, let's go and buy some gold because I have some cash, and let's go and buy that and put it to one side. Costco recently, I think, was selling what they call 150 servings of food in the event of an emergency. So you can go and buy this pack, and then you just take it home and add water to it, and then you have 150 servings of food just in case, something terrible happens out there.
Interesting.
I mean, well, I laugh, but the point is there is fear everywhere right now. There is fear about the economy. There is fear about inflation. There is fear about currency. And it is not surprising, therefore, that people aren't really sort of looking to the future, but they're saying, let's try and survive today. And the best place to do that may be just to go and buy gold bars. But it's not something I subscribe to, by the way, Brian.
Now, on that note, David, thank you very much for your insights. Thanks for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Now, we've been speaking to David Kuo, founder of the Smart Investor out of Singapore, on BizTech's Asian Midday Market Watch. I'm Brian Fernandez. Check out this show on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks a lot for tuning in.